Alright, my name is Jessica Jourden, and I'm going to go over how to do a cloud effect in Houdini. Let's see what to do. Okay, first I guess I'll start with showing you what I ended up with. Screenshot. So, me personally, what I want to do was a cloud effect, but I also want to attach it to a geometry and give it more of a shape. You know, like when we were all kids, we see clouds in the skies and we imagine what kind of thing it is. I, in this case, chose to do a Pegasus. Alright, now I will show you different variations, how to keep its texture after turning it into a cloud, how to give it certain colors if you want. In this case, I gave it more of a darker cloud color, which now that I think about it, against the pretty bright cloud colors, probably should fix that. But I like the darker color scheme. But as you can see, you still see the wings up there, the legs still visible, and the head. Alright, so let's begin. Alright, first we're going to import the geometry that you wish to use. So I type in my Geo tab, and it'll pop up this box. Double click on the tab, come up to here. I do apologize, I don't know why everything got small. I decided to download the 2015 and it just shrunk everything. I don't know how to zoom in, but this is where you would go. Click here, and for me, I saved my file onto the on my desktop and in my folder. Once you find what you want, click accept, wait till it loads. Now, my horse appeared a little bit more down, so I'm going to type in a transform node, attach it to it, view it so I can see what I'm doing, and I will raise him up a bit. There we go. Alright. So, I have my geometry. Now, what I'm going to do is up here in this tab, if you can see where my mouse is pointing, you know you have all the create, modify. If you go further down on the list, it would be the second to last one is called cloud effects. You're going to click on the cloud effects, click on cloud rig, and see how it highlights what you want to click, yellow. So this is the geometry I wish to change, and then press enter. Now, as you see, it is definitely a cloud, but it's not keeping the shape that I wanted. I want it to keep its more horse-like shape. So a few things we'll do before starting into the cloud is getting into the cloud format is we're going to scale it a bit more. So just so I could get a little bit more of a rough idea going. You're not going to see the shape here. This is more so just to get the thickness that you want. And as you see, I'm starting to form a little bit more. Nope, wrong way. More of a horse-like look. I believe actually I left this one at 1 the first time I did it. Alright, so I'm happy with that, and I want to leave it right there. So then you're going to go into this form right here, the cloud from Geo, double click in there, and the main ones we're going to be working with are cloud, get out of there, alright, cloud 1, we're going to use the volume tab, the density tab. I will explain this tab, but I personally am not going to use it with my project just because of the fact that this fill section gives it more of the fluffy cloud texture. And seeing how with my character, I am trying to give it more of the horse texture, so I do not want to use the fill tab. But I will go over it. Alright. And then the cloud noise. This one is going to, let's see if I remember correctly, we will be mainly using the noise mask and the event. It's once we start forming our cloud, this is how I'm going to give it more of a tighter look, because even after we mess with it in the cloud tab, it's still going to have the puffy cloud look where I want it to get nice, sharp, and crisp. And then the cloud lighting right over here. Oop, wrong one. Wait, is it? Yeah, wrong one. Sorry, my bad. I meant to click this one. The very bottom one, the cloud light one on the bottom. We're going to mess with this, or at least go through it. And I want to show you the color scheme about it. Alright, so let's begin. First, I'm going to start with the uniform sampling. And I already know I want it at a 70 around there, personally for me, because I want to start seeing the wings form. I just want to start seeing the texture more around it, as hard as it might be to see at the moment. Oop, wrong one. But see, I'm getting more of the texture that I'm desiring. Always kill that a bit. Alright. Now my density, I'm going to lift it up and scale it in more. Alright. So, alright, my computer's kind of going slow. I apologize for this. Alright. It's giving me a hard time. I apologize. I'm trying to lift it up. Notice how it's still on the bottom? That's not what I want. I need it to, there we go, raise a bit. And now you're starting to see the texture more. A little too much, but let's thin that out a bit. Alright. So, starting to get my texture a little bit thicker. But that also means that I want to come back to this. Maybe knock it down a bit. Ooh, wrong button. Sorry. 75. Oh, sorry. Knock it up. My apologies. And this, the fact that it's still fluffy could also do with the fact that when I scaled it, I might have overshot on my scaling a bit. Yeah, I overshot a bit on the scaling portion of it. But that's fine. We could keep going even if it's a little bit fluffier than wanted, desired. Why are you? Come on. Is it under scattered shape? Alright, well, what I meant to talk about with the fill source, though, is that when you click on it, all this stuff will start to open. Now, as you see it, again, I'm not using it because I want to keep my horse shape, but if we were to use this, using the scale multiplier and the min and maximum would help give you more of your shape that you were looking for if you were doing more of a, more of a traditional cloud. it helps shape it up a bit. Same with flatten. If we were doing more of a traditional cloud, using the flattening could help with our, there we go, turn it down. Could help with the roundness and when we're trying to flatten some certain points out a bit. And as you see, the inside shadows disappearing more too. But like I said, I do not want to use either one of these nodes because of the fact that I am trying to create a shape and not create a fluffy cloud. Now going into the cloud noise, like I said, we are going to help with the help sharpen it up a bit. See if, here we go. So you'll turn on your noise mask. Now you're starting to see we got our horse a little bit more sharper, which is what we desire. Well, what I desire at least. Turning up or down the noise. My computer's going slow. But the inside, you should see when I turn up and down the noise, at least last time when I was working on it, it made it either the inside go closer to the edge or further in, giving its density a little bit of a different reaction. Now, alright, so let me double check, make sure I've got my density position where I wanted it. Uniform sampling. It just helps you crispen the shape. I'm not sure if I actually went over that. And now I want to change the cloud texturing. So I'm going to go to lighting. And here this is where you get your nice fluffy cloud. But I want to give it a more darker blue shape. And when you're doing this, white would be giving you your kind of like your clear white cloudy view, or where the color, I'm not clear white. White is where your color is actually going to show, or how much of your color is going to show. I just want a hint of blue to kind of give it more of, if anyone's seen that cartoon show Hercules, give it more of that whole cute Pegasus thing right before he pops out. How he had a little bit of color texturing, but not too much to overshadow the fact that he is a white Pegasus. So I'm putting this more darker until I see minimum blue, which I've got the white, got the black in as if it's a cloudy lightning thunder sky, but then I've got my little blue that I was wanting. And here we go. So I've given him my color now. And here you probably won't see it as well anymore, but at least you'll be able to check out what you're doing in the render view area. Now you can change the lighting for the actual sky. Now when you saw the picture I did, it took away the blue that I liked, but it gave it more of the darker cloud shape, because when I changed the sky color, let's put the render view in here. So when I change the sky color, say I want to give it a more darker dusk kind of feel to it. So it takes the initial shape color that you gave the cloud and applies that new lighting texture that you did to your image. Actually, I kind of think that's cool, so we're going to leave it right there. Dusk cloud is nice. Alright, and now that I've got my Pegasus formed up, at least to where I find it relatively nice. I'm going to now apply the camera and the background picture that I had. So, get my camera set up a bit. Oh dear. I again apologize for my computer speed. Come on now. There we go. Now, you guys already have seen the picture I plan to use. So you'll get your camera. Now, everyone should know this already, but just in case there are some people who didn't apply any backgrounds to their images or visual effects before, here's how you do it. Once you apply your camera, you'll go to the View tab, and then Background Image, and then you just click on wherever you put that image at. Now, here's also something interesting to know. If you don't hit that Enable Background button, your image on the background won't always appear. At least that's the way I've always had it happen. Alright, so I position it, try to make it, look kind of cool, like it's coming from the lighting or something. Shape it right. Alright, and now, then I check it in my render view and see how I like it. Now the cloud texture does, especially if you have your uniform sampling as high as I do, it's going to take a bit of time for it to render. Even though you're only rendering one frame, it's kind of slow. But I kind of got an image of my horse, but I'm not exactly liking the fact that it's barely visible. Like I said, I'm trying to go for that Hercules, Pegasus born, or laying on the grass and seeing shapes. So we're going to fix that really quick. I'm going to probably lighten it a bit. Ooh. There it goes. And then I'm going to go to cloud density. I'm going to make it a little bit thicker so we can see the wings more. Again, the density will help you get the thinner parts viewing. There we go. Now it's starting to get a little bit thicker in that area. Alright. I'm going to add a little bit more smoothness. Now, if you were making an actual fluffy cloud, the smoothness would help shape the fluff part of it, because when you, as you saw before I added noise, when you first initially make the cloud, it's scattered all about. And as you see, even though the clouds are scattered, they do have a bit of smoothness to an actual cloud. So I would highly recommend using that. And again, you'd want to use your fill source and flattening if you're trying to make one of these clouds, because it'll help shape it, flatten it up, like this one's a little bit flat, or give it a fluff and roundness. Just help shape it a bit more. Alright. I think I'm going to lower the noise quality a bit. So I still do want it a little bit fluffy, even though I do want to hold its shape. There we go. He's starting to get fatter again. And where's that coloring? There we go. I'm going to give it a little bit more white. I put too much dark in it, and it became too much of a black rain cloud. And we want a little bit more brighter for our little sunshine scene. There we go. Alright. So I'm starting to like that more. And this is doing more of a basic cloud shape. There are more notes to it, like if you went to the materials, there is an actual cloud node, and it pretty much gives you the same. I mean, you have your color output, which we did already, color line, the cloud density, whether you have a lot more shadows or not, and its scattering phase. Scattering phase is more so what would kind of shoot it out. Well, kind of like this. How you got a little spot there, thicker here, instead of all just one thickness like what I've gotten. But I personally was trying to go for a shape in a cloud, and that has been achieved. Again, you can use this cloud shader if you want, but if you're just doing kind of a basic cloud shape, then your normal, let me go back to it, just your normal cloud noise, and cloud lighting will get you to the destination that you want. So, I have everything done. I like where we're at. And the last part, again, we've been in this class the entire time. Everyone should already know this, but you would go to your render, create your mantra. I'm not going to render it because it does take a bit of time, and you've already seen my rendered product. But you would give it your name. You would save it to where you want to save it at. In this case, we only have one frame, so we're just going to render current frame. And since it's only one frame, we don't need to do any caching out. And you would just render the disk, and your picture would come out. And that is what I have for doing a cloud shader. Got that like this, so I'm going to keep it. Pretty. Alright, that is what I have, and again, you could go for more of a darker rain cloud. As you saw, we did have a bit of darkness before I lightened it up. You go for more fluffy. I mean, it all just depends on what you were looking for when doing it. And these are the 3 nodes that will get you to your destination. I'm going to make it thin again. Fluffy again. Big, giant, fluffy cloud. Alright, and that is all I have for you today. Hope you enjoyed my lesson or research project, and I hope that the cloud rendering is something that everybody will use in the future. Bye.